you know, I did something tonight. I do it quite often. When I left the office, I don't know if you ever do this, but I go and I lock the door. We have 2 doors in our office. We have a door at the top, and then we have our main door that leads to everywhere, not just our office. And I got in my car, and I was like, oh, did I lock the door? I don't know if I locked the door. I'm sure I locked the door. But then I drove up, checked the lock. It's crazy.
How many times did you do it?
Oh, just the one time. I never do it more than
okay.
once. But yeah, I'll go up there and I'm like, I know I locked it, but you know, it's just going back and checking it.
It has to do with obsessions and compulsions.
Oh, I don't know why. It's a terrible thing.
Hey everybody, I am Chuck Rogers, licensed professional counselor and licensed marriage and family therapist.
And I'm Keith Dunn, and I check doors twice.
He's a wonderful network engineer, and as of last week, you are fabulous, a breath of fresh air, and what was the other thing Evie Grace called you?
I'm a lovely.
Yeah, we're lovely.
We're lovelies. Yeah.
And together we are Tabletop Coffee.
Yeah, where we are bold and never ever bitter.
And tonight we're going to talk about obsessions and compulsions, but basically we're going to focus upon, I guess maybe we can squeeze in both. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, okay, great.
Stay tuned, we'll talk about it. OCD, we hear about that
all the time.
So there are obsessions where you have these thoughts that are in your head that you just can't seem to put down.
Right.
And compulsions where you have the behavior where you will replicate some behavior over and over again. Classic ones are people will check the doors 10 times to make sure they're locked.
Okay. Or check the stove. Yeah. You're going on vacation. You got to make sure the stove is on.
Yeah. And I had a client many years ago who had this obsession and a compulsion where she would make deliveries around town, and she would put her car into park, and then she would get out and start to go into the place of business, but couldn't do it because why do you think?
She wasn't sure if she put her car in park.
Exactly what it was. And so she would have to go back and check the car. And of course it was in park, but then she would go back, and then this would happen several times.
Right.
So we did an intervention, right? Because remember, you have to fail forward. And just try stuff, fail as fast as you possibly can until you find some things that work. And the intervention we had her do was, as she was pulling into the parking place, to say, I'm pulling into the parking place. And then I'm taking my hand and I'm putting it on the gear shift and I'm putting it up into park. And I see that the little orange arrow is by the P. I'm now releasing my hand from it. I'm reaching up. I'm turning my key off. I'm taking my foot off of the brake, and I'm going to look again, and there it is. The arrow is by the little orange arrow is by the P. I'm getting out of my car, and I'm locking my car door with my key. I'm now pulling my key out, and I'm now going into the place of business.
Okay.
And then, as she was going into the place of business, she would think, did I put my car into park? Am I sure I put it into park? Yes, I remember going through this motion, and I remember locking my car.
Right.
And it virtually just extincted this behavior right away.
And that's a great way to think about it. Now, was that a verbal thing that you had her talk through?
Yes.
Okay, so she's actually speaking it, but she's hearing it back as well. So it's an auditory response as well, or an auditory way of remembering. That's very neat.
Yeah, it really is, and it can make it go away very quickly.
Yeah, because there's so many things in life that we're on autopilot.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I'll drive to work and I'll be halfway there and I'm like, how did I get here?
Right.
But it's just because you do it all the time. You're not really thinking about it.
Yeah, so now we're just going to make sure that we pay attention to it so that we don't have to worry if we've completed
that's really
that
good.
action. Hey, I hope you liked our content. If you did, please subscribe. We would really appreciate that.
Yeah, and ding that bell to be notified of upcoming episodes.
And if you have any obsessions or compulsions, we would love to hear about what you're doing with them.
Yeah, we'll respond back to you, so put them in the comments below.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, until next time.